This episode of Wisdom and Wellness is proudly brought to you by Discam Delivered, your on-demand delivery service available on the Discam app. Discam Delivered, from us to you on demand. Hello, Wisdom and Wellness family. Welcome to another episode of the Wisdom and Wellness podcast. Today's guest, I've been trying to sit with this guy for like a good year or two, and he's so polite. So I'm sitting with Jay something, doesn't need an introduction, award winner,
thank you.
a restaurant. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Okay. Father, husband, just an incredible guy. Welcome.
Definitely take that. Yeah, thank you so much. I really am learning to value time and to realize that certain things have their time.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy that we managed to find our time to connect, and I'm really happy and proud to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad. I actually agree with that. Like, especially with this podcast, that's what it's teaching me. Just about life in general. That, look, we can try make things happen, but if it's not time, it's just not time. And there's a reason why things don't
everything
happen.
that I normally forced to make happen, I don't generally enjoy.
Yeah, it doesn't work out.
And then there's certain things that just happen, and I'm like, wow.
This was literally a text like on Friday.
Yes.
It just happened. It was very
we've
easy.
been trying, and I think that's the thing. Now it's
easy.
Life has allowed.
I've got icebreakers for you.
Okay.
Okay. What's the weirdest pronunciation of your name you've ever heard?
Jua. My name got butchered when I was a kid. Yeah, hence the J something thing. Yeah, Jua, Juan, a whole bunch of Joao.
It's so tricky. I've been practicing,
João.
but I'm here.
João, come
There we
on,
go.
you got this.
João.
It's like,
Did
João.
I say it right?
Yeah,
There
João.
we go. There we go.
Joao.
Okay, so how did J something come about?
Exactly from that reason.
Who came up with J something?
Well, it was like, I was so innocent in my pursuit of wanting to be an artist. I always like my whole life since I was a kid, I just wanted to sing and entertain people.
Okay.
And then when I finished, well, actually during varsity, I was doing a marketing degree in Stellenbosch, and
That makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
And in that time, I told my brother's 10 years older than me, and he's a brand architect, he's a graphic designer, and I said to him, one day when I'm an artist, I need to come up with a name.
Yeah.
And I said to him, J something.
Oh,
because
wow.
nobody can pronounce my name here, so let's just make it like J whatever.
Yeah.
It's got multiple reasons behind it,
Yeah.
but it's really
I love it though. It's
mainly
not
that.
giving, I'm trying to be artistic, I'm trying to be, it's just J something. Okay.
Yeah.
Next one, music or food?
Music. It's not even like a thing.
Really?
I don't even get, like, it irritates. It irritates me so much that somebody would even think that, and it's actually it's not their fault.
Exactly.
It's
That's
not
what
their fault.
I'm
It's
about
my
to call you
fault.
out because it's your fault.
No,
because,
for sure.
I mean, your page is like a great combination of. In fact, your page is mostly food. Your social media pages are mostly
trying
food.
to change this.
I even went on your website. Okay, no, your website is mostly music, but your YouTube channel it's food. So
Yeah, the YouTube channel's a little bit backward.
excuse
We're
us.
still working on that,
Last question: what's your morning routine like? Do you have a morning routine?
I go through phases
Okay.
where I have a really good morning routine, and then I've most of my life I have horrible routine, but it's like a beautiful chaos.
Okay.
So even though I'm really good when I have routine, I think everybody is better off with a great routine.
Yeah.
This morning I started my day off with yoga. I did the morning run and then went to yoga, which is cool, and I love that. But yeah, my life is so all over the place. I'm doing so many different things, but still, even within the chaos, I still feel like there's beauty in it, and I'm still in control.
Yeah.
So and then sometimes I get super overwhelmed, and then everything just spirals out of control, and then I'm like, okay, cool, routine needed. So Sundays, every Sunday I meet with my wife and we chat about the week.
What do you mean you meet with your wife?
Well, we like, maybe it's, opening a bottle of wine and, everything is kind of calm at home.
Okay.
And now we relax for about an hour and we open up our calendars and we just chat about the week. And actually, it's mainly done to find out the pockets of time that we can have together. Because there's a lot going on.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So that's another part of routine.
Yeah.
But
Are you a night person or a morning person?
Strange, because I think I'm both, because of like the music side of things. We come alive at night for some reason, it's
at 4 a.m. people are still in studio. It's just like, hey, boy, we're about to wake up.
I don't know what it is, and then sometimes, like, I love the morning. The morning is my favorite time of day.
Too.
Yes. I love waking
Sunrise.
up like at 5 and watching
Yeah.
the sunrise
Yeah.
and being alone and having
Yeah.
that peace. I
Yeah.
really enjoy that. So I'm a bit of both.
Yeah. No,
If anything, I'm not an afternoon guy because then I start to fade and I'm just tired.
I feel like we're the same
Yeah.
person. Because by like 3 o'clock, like don't call me, don't try send me an
Yo.
email. Catch me at like now I've moved to 4:30 or like 4:15, 4:30
Okay.
because the sunrise is just
The best, man.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then you get so much done. But by 3 o'clock I'm done, and by 8:30 I'm out.
Did the
I'm
5 a.m.
sleeping.
club at all
5 a-
influence you?
Yeah, I am.
Robin
Like
Sharma?
I advocate for it. I even
Okay.
did a review on my YouTube channel about it.
Amazing.
Did he inspire you? Did you read the book?
Yeah, big time. I'm a huge Robin Sharma fan. Like, 5 a.m. Club, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari,
Yeah.
that whole, I just dig his writing style. So
Yeah.
big fan.
I want to talk about your spirituality. I think you've gone through.
This is an interesting one. I knew you were going to talk about
You
this, and
knew
I
I
was
was gonna
like,
go
what am I going to say here?
No,
But
at
let's dive
first,
in, I'm
before
pretty
we-
certain. And,
Sorry, before we even started, I actually wanted to ask you, is there something that are some conversations that are off limits? And they were just like, nah, it's fine. We'll figure it out. But the reason why I wanted to start with your spirituality is you had a concept called spirit being, right? And this was before Maverick City. You know Maverick City,
Yes.
right? Yeah, this was before Maverick City, and that's exactly what spirit being was before
Yes.
Maverick City blew up. And I remember we came to the last one. I think it was just before. No, it's just before I had a baby.
Sure.
And it was the most incredible
Yeah, it was rich.
experience of my life. And
I'm
then
even getting goosebumps just thinking about
and
it.
then
yeah.
it stopped.
Sure. I've learned to respect seasons in life and chapters in life, and sometimes it's okay to close a chapter. It's okay to say goodbye. I wrote a song actually the other day, literally about that. It's okay to say goodbye, you know. And actually, it had a lot to do with one of my best mates who I've had to say goodbye to, not
Yeah.
because he passed, but because just like it's just come to an end.
Yeah,
and
happens.
that took a lot of maturity. But with regards to spirit being, like, yeah, it was a beautiful chapter of my life that I
Yeah.
needed in that season, and I think that like it's not where I'm at right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what the future lies, but I
Yeah.
know that it's not where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
And I know that at that time,
That's what
I
you
really
needed.
needed that,
Yeah.
and somehow life, God channeled me that way,
Yeah.
and channeled everybody around me in that way, and we managed to build some very special memories.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I got to attend only one, but
Yo,
I haven't forgotten it. It's the first thing I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you because that's how incredible it was. And I think not because it was a religious get together, but exactly like the name, like it was, we felt as one. Like
Yes.
we were just one, and we were just there to sing and to
Yes.
celebrate and to worship and to
It
just
also had
give
a lot
thanks.
to do with the design of the
Yeah.
flow of things. It was
Yeah.
like diverting attention from the musicians
Yeah,
to
the main
placing,
stage. Yeah.
emphasis on the music and on the worship. And it was really beautiful. I really enjoyed it. It
Yeah.
was, so many people still talk to me about that, and it's something that I look at with a lot of pride and
Yeah.
a lot of happiness.
So how has your spirituality evolved? Firstly, what is spirituality to you?
I think that the first thing that I wanted to say is just a disclaimer to everybody that listens, is that I've really learned to like respect my own journey. And I really think that it's important that whatever I say from this moment forth, it's literally just my
Your journey, yeah.
It's got nothing to do with anybody else.
Yeah.
And that was the big aha moment, if I can call it that, for me. 1st of November 2019, I decided to go on an unboxing journey. I decided to be like, you know what? I'm going to find out anything and everything on my own.
Sure.
I want to find God on my own. I don't
Yeah.
want to find God in a book that was made by man. I don't want to go to a building that's like another man telling me, or another woman, or another person rather, telling me what they think based on these scriptures that these people wrote. Like, I want to unbox.
Yeah.
I want to like get out of all these things, because so many of the things that we have placed our whole lives on was made by other people that were going
it's
through
just
their own
passed-
stuff,
yeah,
right?
and it's passed on tradition.
like-
Sometimes we don't even have context anymore.
Exactly. And I often challenge my mates, and I say, you know what, man? How do you think that the global church, whoever controls the powers that be, would feel if I went to them and I said, I want to add a book to the Bible, and I want to call it J, right? Because why did Paul get to do that?
Yeah.
Why did Matthew get to do that? Like, I think it's not fair. Like, I think that was their journey. That was their story in that time.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of wisdom in there.
Those are some difficult questions to ask, though.
Yes. Well, this is the thing. It's like, I have one life.
Yeah.
And I have this time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just go with the flow, man.
Yeah.
So 2019 was one of the scariest decisions I ever made. I used to be
imagine.
extremely involved in church, in the traditional church of things. I used to lead worship. I used to lead cell groups. I thought I wanted to be a pastor. I wanted to be a worship leader. Yeah, I was going to open up a
Pastor
church
J.
and it was going to be amazing.
Sure.
Yeah, man, like there's so much happened in that. And, it's hard to kind of try and capture all of that in this time that we have together. But hopefully we'll get a bit more time to talk about it as friends. But the unboxing journey allowed me to say, the only thing I will believe in wholeheartedly is that I have a creator.
Yeah.
And that creator has no title because no man-made title could ever capture the magnitude of my creator. So he's not a man, he's not a father. Like, it's so much bigger than this.
Yeah.
Like, why can't he be my mother as well?
Yeah.
Why can't God be, my friend?
Have you watched the movie, I think is it The Shack?
Yes, I have. Yeah. So this unboxing journey has allowed me to be like, has just completely put me in a very vulnerable situation, but it's allowed me to find my God in so many different ways.
Yeah.
In my own unique ways.
Yeah.
So my spiritual journey is the best it's ever been without, and I'm not part of any group. I'm on my own journey, on my own spiritual journey. And trying to discover and be in awe and of God in every aspect of my life. The other thing that I do want to make clear is that I really love that your spiritual journey helps you to connect with your spirit.
Yeah.
And I hope that everybody that's listening
Yeah.
has got a way to connect with their spirit.
100%.
That is the main thing that we actually need to become more comfortable as humans to be like, dude, I like last year I did the month fast with my Muslim friends. I can't remember what it's called now. Forgive me, but
Ramadan.
I did Ramadan, and I learned so much about that journey and everything. And I was just what I was so happy about was that my mates that do that are into that had a way to connect. And I'm so happy that my Christian mates have got a way to connect. All I'm saying is, please do yourself a favor as a human being with your one life, with your only one day at a time. Like we've been seeing, unfortunately, how short life can be.
Yeah.
And all I encourage you to do is to just try and maximize the time that you have to explore your potential, explore spirituality, explore the impact that you can have. Because people ask me like, hey man, why are you doing all these things? And I'm like, because I'm just exploring.
Yeah.
I'm curious about how much I can achieve in this one life.
You actually did a video where you speak about as a creative, because you've got so many ideas, and I think I kind of share that, where every day there's a new idea and you can see how this becomes magical. But then you said, I know, like you just want to do stuff. And then you said, but we should also learn to master something. So where are you?
I remember this video, but
I found it.
Yeah.
Where are you with that? Where do you the difference or the balance of, I want to use all my gifts. I want to explore. I want to live. I want to make my dreams come true, but I also want to master something.
Yeah, it's something that I think the first word that pops to mind is they as a creative, one of the most important characters that you need to have and try and develop is focus.
Focus.
Right? It's just like yes, the world is your oyster, and yes, there's a million and one things that I'm good at, that I can do, but it doesn't mean that I need to do them.
Yeah.
Right? It just means that, I could do that. Like, I could be a dope presenter. Like, I know I could do it. I know I could do radio in my sleep, TV in my sleep, but it's not what I dig.
Yeah.
Right? It's not what makes me happy.
Do you find that out through doing, or?
Yes, and that's what I wanted to say, is that as much as like I want to be here telling you that like I'm focused and I'm doing what I love, and as much as I've got all these ideas, I'm really streamlined, I'm only there now because I've done everything.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of stuff that I've done. There's a lot of songs that I've written. There's a lot of things that I've put out that when I look back, I'm like, damn, man, what was I doing?
Yeah.
Even especially with this whole food thing. It's been the biggest thing. Like food, like I like cooking. I'm not a chef. I've never studied to be a chef. I like.
You just know how to make food.
Yeah, I spent time learning a new hobby, and the blessing of it all, and the mind-blowing thing of it all is that I've managed to turn it into like a business thing, you know. And yesterday I was actually lying in bed with my wife, and I'm like, you know, man, like I go to work every day, whatever it is that I'm doing, I don't even know what I'm earning. I have no idea on money. As long as nobody calls me to tell me, hey, there's no money.
Yeah.
Like that's okay. That's when now I get worried, and I'm like, okay, now I need to make a plan. But I don't earn a salary. I don't get paid a salary. My wife gets paid a salary. She looks after everything, and she looks after our life and manages that because she's really good at that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yo,
You wake up and create.
I just go. As long as I can buy my coffee and buy some bread and I'm fine with that. You know. And if I want to buy a pair of sneakers, I want to go and buy the pair of sneakers.
Yeah.
But it's taken me a lot of time to find the focus of what it is that I want to do. And COVID threw me off big time because, man, I would have like endorsed Pampers if I needed to endorse Pampers during lockdown, because it's like I would have done anything because my whole world fell apart. So it was like, what? Yeah, you want me to endorse that? Yeah, no problem, man. Because so I got pulled into this whole, you know, content creation and all this stuff, which I technically hate.
I get you.
Yeah.
100% get you. And that's how I felt. And that's why I think I'm starting to make a change now that during COVID, I had to do everything that was presented to me.
And now we're coming out of that.
Now we're coming out of it. And now it's just like,
and it's still tempting because now you're like, oh, that pays
it's
well.
a big nice check.
And there you are now, like endorsing something you're not even passionate about, but you're getting paid. And I'm trying, I'm trying to move away from that and get my focus. So I really had to be like, okay, Micasa's on like a whole new chapter, which I've never been this excited about Micasa before.
Yeah.
And that's 12 years later. Huh?
Damn.
Like I feel like this album this music we're making now is literally worthy of global attention for the first time ever.
Really?
I've never felt that we were worthy of global attention. We've always made dope music. Yeah. But I thought that the music was always catered to an African ear.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that was strategic. We've spent our time touring Africa. That was it. But now, like, there's that, and then there's artistry, and it's like it feels so good here, and what we're doing feels so real and authentic, and like we know exactly who we are, what we want to do, what we don't want to do, and who we don't want to be.
What has your wife taught you?
My wife has taught me that there's a place for pessimism.
Okay.
I think that is one of the things. I'm an optimist.
Me too. That's why I'm just okay.
I believe that anything is like we can just go. And she's an optimist too. But she's got this side of her where she likes to think a little bit further and think a little bit deeper and question things a little bit more. So that side of us rubbing off on each other, she's given me that, I've given her that, and it's been this beautiful blend of like, okay, cool, now we're sharpening each other, because sharpening hurts, right? And sharpening makes you sharper. Sure. So there's two sides. God has no opposites. They're both sides are important. Hate is important. Man. Love is important. These are all things. So that's first thing that pops to mind. She's literally, without it even sounding cheesy, like she is without a doubt the strongest person I know, very closely followed by my mother. Sure. She's shown me depths of strength and hope and courage that I've never seen in anybody else, which has inspired me to implement that into my life. She's my biggest cheerleader. Yeah. So what has she given me? She's given me belief in myself when I needed it. Yeah. She makes me feel like, you know, everybody else can make me feel like a superstar, but I feel like the biggest superstar when I'm around her. Sure. She makes me feel like I'm a king. Like she makes me feel like I am.
Can she write a book?
I always tell her, you know,
like she needs to write a book.
She's also so like at the same time, like she just like she doesn't care. She's not materialistic.
She strikes me as someone who's very comfortable with herself.
She would answer that differently, I know, without a doubt.
Really?
You know, we all have our insecurities.
We all do, but she strikes me as someone who's just like, this is who I am.
I actually wrote a song about that. Well, songs that nobody's ever heard. You know, I've written like 5 albums of my own that nobody's ever heard. That's just for me and her.
Yeah. Oh wow.
One day,
that's
hopefully,
beautiful.
I'll get the courage to release it. But it's there was a song there like I can't remember the exact line, but like, you know, everybody sees the surface, but they don't see the scars. You know, and sometimes like we have a lot of scars, me and her. You know. And yes, she's becoming a lot more secure and comfortable with who she is. But me and her, and I think you as well, and I think everybody that's listening, we have our insecurities.
100%.
And I think that it's important for us to become comfortable or vulnerable enough to be that, because I think social media and the online world tries to portray this like my life is perfect and everything. Like, I don't have it together. My wife doesn't have it together. And what you see, yes, we sometimes are really amazing. We're really tight. And and we're really secure. But there's times where, like, man, we in tears.
We all
like,
know that.
So
I think if you're married, you all know that.
Yes.
The pictures are the good times.
Yes.
There's not even time to pick up your phone when it's bad times.
So yes, she is secure, and she is insecure, and so am I.
So am I.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
God has no opposites.
You're gonna keep saying that, and it's bugging me because
I need to
go
dig
sit
into
and
that,
really think about that. What has your mother taught you?
Whew. My mother taught me something that there was a time in my life where my parents, my father was sometimes an abusive father towards her, an abusive husband. And growing up in that, she told me the importance of shielding.
Sure.
The importance of being able to be a shield for people when they need the shield. Sometimes you need to allow the person to dive into the deep end and figure out how to swim, but sometimes you need to be shielding that person.
Sure.
There's a time in your kid's life where you need to shield them from the pool or her from the pool, and there's a time where you need to let them go. And there was a time where my father, and bless him, I love him. He's gone now, but he's such a hero to me with all his faults. You know, it's God has no opposites. He had great things and he had faults. But there was a time where she got kicked out the house, and she called me, and I don't remember really knowing what was going on, but she called me and she's like, hey, pack some sheets in the black plastic bag and some clothes, and we're gonna go and have a camp out in the park. And in the complex where we were staying, there was like a garden, you know. And off we went, and we made a tent at night, and that's all I remember. I just remember being there with my mom, like camping out in the park, and was a shield. So she definitely taught me how to become a shield for my wife, how to become a shield for the kids, how to become a shield for my friends, you know, that how to become a shield for myself, you know, to guard myself, to like make sure that, hey, you know, you need a shield in this life. I mean, it's also biblical, you know. What is the shield of? Right, no, breastplate of righteousness. But anyway,
shield, is it shield of faith?
Maybe a shield of faith. Let's go with that.
There's a song my kids know that, and I don't even know.
But that's one of the things she taught me. She taught me she's the biggest hustler I know. She pushed through a lot. She taught me the importance of sacrifice, even when it hurts. There's a lot, man. She's a hero for me.
I love your journey as you share it, because it's like the only word I can come up with is such a full human experience, and it's a lot of people's stories.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so many people's stories, but we never get to hear it because, I don't know, because of shame or because we think we're supposed to have it together. But these are the stories people actually need to hear. That
totally. The power of your testimony would make sense to everybody listening. You know, like we should be more comfortable. There's magic in your story. I know that. Like, that's what I have a cool story, and yes, you know my story, but man, I look forward to one day learning your story. You know, everybody that I meet, whether it's a guest in the restaurant or even my staff, I'm like, what's your story?
That's my favorite thing to do.
What do you want to achieve?
You
know?
That's my favorite thing to do. I was in an interview yesterday, and they asked me, how do you prepare for your podcast and for your conversations? And I said, ideally, I'm probably supposed to be doing research and writing notes. And I said, but actually, it's waking up every morning, going to the coffee shop, and seeing the person making my coffee.
Yes.
And asking them real questions, and sitting and actually listening and being interested. That's the actual. Totally. That's the real work. How has fatherhood changed you?
Sure, it's had its chapters as well. You know, in the beginning. By the way, you guys and nobody has any idea about my fatherhood journey.
I know.
And it's not something that I'm ready to talk about, but I'll just kind of explain the general overview of it. When I became a father, a lot of my perspective changed, as it does, but specifically a lot of my perspective or desire for my dreams changed. I thought, yeah, I don't really want to be in Europe every year, you know, for 3 months touring. I don't really want to be doing that. I don't want. I want to be home. I want to be with my kids. I want to chill and blah blah and connect and, you know, I have these moments. And then as it went on, I thought, hold on, like, this is my life.
Yeah.
They have their life.
Yeah.
My role as a parent, as a guardian, is to just observe their life and to help them channel their life in whatever it is that they are feeling and experiencing, you know. So that, then I went through another shift where I'm like, so there was a time where I'm like, I'm okay with just kind of just keeping things going, you know. And then there was another where I'm at now where I'm like, I want to show you guys how hard I chased what I wanted.
Sure.
So that you guys can see that one day, and then it can inspire you to go and chase what you want, because you don't owe me anything, and I don't owe you anything.
And that's the truth of it,
right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be here.
Yeah.
You know, like I wrote a song for them, and I guess again, I guess I'm giving something away, but I wrote a song for them, and it's called Super M's, and it's like, will we die? Hell yeah.
This is for your kids.
Yes, but better to, because they ask me like, are you
Yeah.
gonna die? I'm like, yes, of course I am. But it's better to focus on living every day, and I'll be there the whole way. Hopefully, God will grant me the opportunity to be there for as long as I can, and I'm just going to try and observe you and help you wherever you need me.
Yeah.
And I'll just be there, like just on the sidelines. So that it's changed me in so many different ways. I mean, there's a million things that, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I even my mates, I see them change. You know, my best mate just had a baby now, and he's changed
like a different
so
person.
much.
She's like, who's this little gummy?
Yeah,
Do you think because you're very private about your family? I mean, we know your wife, but it's like we just know that you love her, and that's it.
Yes.
Right? Do you think you're that way because of your greatest inspiration, Michael Jackson, and how he turned out because of his upbringing? Do you think that inspired how you are not raising your kids, but how you are shielding them from your own limelight?
Yeah, it's a strange one. You know, I wish that there was a manual for this type of life that I could read and learn from, because it's chaos. You know, there's so much unknown in this. You know, there's so much unique things of like going to school and then the kid is being called Micasa, you know, or something like that, and I'm like, damn, man, come on, he's got a name, you know, like so there's a lot of stuff, but with that said, I think that it's been quite strategic. So it's like I don't feel like I owe anybody anything. I don't want you to know me as anything else other than my art.
Yeah.
And if I share with you things along the way, it's because I really felt like I wanted to share that with you. And you know, strategically, like I never spoke about my wife for a very long time because I didn't feel like we were ready to deal with what may come with it. And when I said to her, I remember it was a moment. I said to her, you know what? I'm going to start sharing more pictures of us because I think that the world needs that. I think that the world of online and this community needs to see how well and how much we love each other, so that they can believe, because we're starting to it feels like we're believing less and less in love.
Yeah.
Right? It's like it's all like it's through music that's created this. There's so much stuff that is taken away. So strategically, one day, and I feel like the days drawing nearer, I would love to talk about my fatherhood, and I would love to share a little bit more. But I'm going to do it when we feel ready.
Yeah, when it's ready. Yeah.
Right? And I think that when you look at, it's just the time again.
Yeah.
It's just
timing.
about, you know, this moment that we're having now. It happened after
timing.
2 years because the timing was right.
Yeah.
So when the timing feels right, I don't know when that be, but
we'll
a
be
lot
waiting.
of the stuff, whether it's inspired by Michael Jackson, I can't say that, but obviously maybe it has rubbed off on me. But I've always wanted to be like, not private, just in control.
In control.
That's all it is. As
I
soon
love
as you
that.
put everything out there, everybody's got an opinion on everything.
Yeah, and you have to take it.
Yeah.
I've learned that the hard way.
Learned
that the hard way.
Yeah.
I want to talk about failure. Maybe it's not failure to you, but you had a restaurant before. In Pretoria, right?
Yep.
My husband and I actually went there, and it was a beautiful experience. And then you closed it down, right?
Well, technically, no. So
No?
that was a licensing deal.
Okay.
To be correct, and it's term. It was a licensing deal that I did with Sun International as a hotel group.
Okay.
And it was a 3-year relationship.
Okay.
And essentially, when it came to the renewal, I decided that it was time for me to explore something else.
Okay, so let's say you closed that chapter.
I closed that chapter.
You closed
100%.
that chapter. And now you're back, or you've opened another restaurant chapter. So what lessons did you take from then? And what made you, because I'm sure you've got plenty of reasons why you decided to close that chapter.
Sure.
Lots of lessons, challenges, or whatever. Yeah. So what state of mind have you been in that's allowed you to open a new restaurant chapter?
As a
Artistry.
Yes. Artistry. As a creative, one of the things that I absolutely hate and cannot stand, and I experience a lot in music, please don't send me beats. Like, please don't send me
I know that.
lyrics. Like, then you don't need me.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
You didn't create with me. We didn't create. Like, you created on your own with your own emotions and your own feelings, and then you sent it to me, and then I'm just hearing like a surface level thing. And if you don't tell me, if you're sending me beats, tell me what you were feeling so that I can try and find the same or connection, so we can, because it's energy.
100%.
Right, music is big time
art
energy.
Is energy,
right?
yeah.
Art is energy, and when you're creating, it's energy. And I think that the most beautiful songs that I've ever made, Mamela for one, it was in the season, it was in the time, it was in the energy, and it just connected.
Yeah.
And Mamela is not a great song because it's a great record. Mamela is a great record because there is a world of energy in there.
Yeah. I wanted to actually ask Brendan this morning, is it a sample?
No.
Did you sample anything?
No, nothing.
Because
No.
it sounds like it's a sample of
no.
like a really
it
good song.
Just sounds like a timeless song.
Yeah, that's why
it's
we
cool.
all whip out the step whenever it goes on.
Yes.
Okay.
So when it comes to creating, I really like to be in control or have input to my capacity, to my roles and responsibilities. And I think this is important in business, is that I feel like it's really important that you are in control of your business, right? And artists specifically struggle a lot with this because they think that music is about making music. It's not. You have to make business.
Sure.
Music is a business. And the way that the music business was created was because artists didn't care about paperwork. They didn't care about contracts. They just want to make music. I want to make music, man. And then, yes, you make music.
What are you going to eat?
And the way that the industry was set up was by business moguls that understand business. So when it comes to that chapter of Something's Cooking by Jay in Times Square, it was a beautiful time. And it was a time that I also hated because I struggled to see my creativity coming through.
Okay.
And that was my responsibility.
100%.
So it's like me saying to you, hey man, I want you to start a podcast about spirituality, but I want you to talk about Islam faith. No, you're limiting me.
Yeah,
you're not allowing me to do what I want to do, right? I want to talk about what I want to talk about. So that was a chapter that I learned that whenever I put my name to something, I started doing it with digital content as well. In the years, I said, like, I didn't say I don't care, but like I would go to brands, they would give me a brief and I'd be like, this is great, but I'm not doing this because this is your idea. If you want to work with me, allow me to make my idea, my interpretation, something that fits into who I am and my life. So this artistry in Santon, 22 Fredman is like,
which is fully booked, by the way, on the opening night.
Yes, on the opening weekend.
I tried to get a booking.
We can make a plan.
We have to make a plan. I need definitely a date night, okay?
And this weekend's going to be really special.
Okay, so we're coming.
Yeah, please. But here, I've been working 2.5 years with my partner, his name is Jonathan Liebman. And Jonathan is the guy that actually developed the whole of Maboneng precinct.
Oh, hectic.
And he's, in my opinion, he's quite a visionary when it comes to properties and flipping properties and finding opportunities in old properties and making them rework, which is really important to the city and to revitalizing energy and to repurposing things. Instead of going to we're going to build a whole new thing there. This was an old law firm.
Sure.
And Artistry, I'm able to be. I'm the co-founder of it together with Jonathan, and we stay in our lanes really well as creatives. I thought we were going to clash, but like he's passionate about interior and architecture, and I'm passionate about the creative touch, the brand, the food, the experience, So I really feel good here now because of all the lessons I've learned, which is just to your point. Yes, those things were so important for me. I didn't like a lot of it, but that's okay.
You need that though for your journey, because
how do you find your purpose?
Failure.
You do
said
what
what
you
are
love.
the 3 things?
You do what you don't love, and you fail. You go through pain.
You get hurt. You go through pain. Yeah.
It's really important for me. So yeah.
What's your intention for Artistry?
Artistry, as the name suggests, is artistry is when a human being applies their creative skill towards something with the ambition of creating something timeless. Right? I'm an artist.
Say that again.
Artistry is when a human being applies their creative skill towards something with the intention of creating something timeless.
Got you.
Right? So when I started music, and your husband will relate a lot to this, when I started music, it was all about the summer hits. Who's going to have the summer hit? And I was just like,
December.
I can't believe you guys. I can't believe you guys actually care about having a summer hit.
Sure.
That's it's such small-minded. I want to have the song that lasts the summers, man. Like if you go and play La Vida now, you play These Streets, you play Heavenly Sent, you play Jigga. Like those songs are the song of summers, man. They're still around. I don't need them to be number one every summer. They were number one. They had their season, but they're still around. So it's about creating. So Artistry, with that said, we found all our inspiration in everything that is here in the classics. The things that have stood the test of time. Right? Because I think things are trendy, and then they have the opportunity to become classics. So a popular song is not a classic. A popular song is just a trendy song. Will it be a classic? We'll need to see. Like Bee Gees, Michael Jackson, Marvin Gaye. They're there, let's get it on. Like come on, that's a classic.
Timeless,
it will be around forever, beyond our lives and our children's lives. So that for me is really important. So in here, Artistry, we found a lot of inspiration in the classics. Artistry itself, we do not deem ourselves a restaurant or a bar or a theater. It's actually a cultural platform that we just provide the platform for you to have a really great meal, for you to enjoy a really nice drink, hear dope beats, curated beats
nice
in the lounge.
book over there in the corner.
Browse through a book and then go to the theater and have this like incredible experience. And that in itself, all that whole journey is where the magic of Artistry will be. Our food is simple. Our food is rooted in the classics. My menu is like curry and rice, fish and chips, steak and potatoes.
Really?
It's written exactly like that.
So we're not having names we can't pronounce in South Africa?
No.
And like a little piece of... You're not going to have like pap a la chips.
No. There's nothing trendy here. This is all relatable. And it's so weird because now, we've been testing and developing the menu for so long. But now when I have my staff in here, whom all, by the way, every single person in my kitchen comes from my Instagram. It's insane.
Really?
How
did you find them? Did you do an ad?
Well, we did like a whole staff recruitment thing through an agency, and we weren't really finding what we wanted. So I just said, you know what, I'm putting it out there. I did one post, and now our whole staff comes from my Instagram.
Oh, hectic. So it's your community.
Yes, it's people that we have a connection already, But the food is like fish and chips. That comes with a tartar sauce, classic, But what we do is we get fresh fish, delivered on the day. We crumb it to order. We make the chips. We cut them ourselves. We blanch. We double fry. We make the tartar sauce, but it's not out of a tub. It's not out of. It's made there with love. So our philosophy has helped us to find that to be rooted and comfortable in who we are. You come here, you're going to have a pizza, you're going to have a burger, but I promise you, it's going to be delicious. It's not going to be the most revolutionary thing in the world. We don't want to be that. If you want that, there's many fancy, impressive restaurants that you can go to, which is also a cool experience.
Amazing,
It's just not our experience.
My favorite thing about walking in here, I walked in here and I was looking around and we were setting up. And, normally you just put like things on the table and stuff, and the lady was helping. She wanted to put one of the mic stands on here, and I watched him like, no, that is probably antique. That is probably from like 1980 kind of vibe. And I actually asked Chad, and I'm like, this furniture, is it antique or is it made to be antique? And he's like, no, it's all antique.
This is all found in different places. This is all refurbished furniture. Our inspiration a lot being in Sandton has got to do with the 50s and 60s in Sandton. So if you research, if you go a bit deeper into what it is, we found that there was a beautiful era of Sandton in the 50s and 60s where there was a good energy and an entertainment space. Whereas now it's become very corporate-y and money, and it's the richest square mile, etc., which is also cool. But we want to try and bring a little bit of that inspiration and energy back into
bring
Sandton.
a little bit of Maboneng in Sandton.
Yes, in a way. Bringing
I get
Sandton
that
back is what we like to tell ourselves.
Yeah.
But artistry as a whole, if I had to define it, it would easily be defined by what we call our iconic flagship journey. You arrive, there's 3 levels at Artistry. You arrive, you go to the rooftop, you have a meal, and then you drop down into the theater. You watch a piece of entertainment, whether it's music, comedy, talks, movie premieres, music video launches, album listening sessions, whatever it may be. And then you drop into the after party bar and you have a cocktail and you listen to some cool curated music by some really dope musicians, and you network and you connect.
Yeah.
It's not a turn up joint.
Yeah.
It's like it's more like, you know,
People.
rich.
Yeah.
So we're doing like a whole bunch of flagship events on a monthly basis, one of them being Artistry Live, and that's our music flagship event, and that will be literally, the first one is with The Soil, and you can book a ticket online on our website.
I didn't even know The Soil's performing.
Yeah, well, I was just with them now at the World Economic Forum, and we're very good friends. So I said, hey guys, I need you for
Please,
this.
you need to come together.
But you can imagine, now I will curate a menu with The Soil. You will eat with The Soil.
Sure.
100 tickets only, so it's like really limited and quality.
Now we must not sleep at night. You're now waiting, queuing for tickets.
and then you will have dinner with them. You'll then move down into the theater, watch them performing in our theater, which is 100 seats. It's really intimate. You've seen it already.
It's beautiful.
And then after that, we will all move down into the after party bar, and you will have to have an after party with The Soil. And as a fan, I think that is an amazing experience.
Beautiful,
and I think as an artist, it's an amazing experience because I get to connect on another level.
You get to see the person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, we're doing that across the board from comedy, and we're doing those type of experiences. But Artistry, at the heart of it, is a cultural platform. Our aim here is not to serve food. Our aim here is to preserve and showcase culture in many different ways, through food, through drink, through entertainment, etc.
So what happens to indoor? It's indoor, right?
Yeah, indoor's
so in all
done,
of this,
yo.
what's happening? Is indoor going to be here? Can we expect indoor?
Did you guys
at
watch
Artistry?
indoor?
No.
No, man,
No.
that's a sad day for me
I
that
know.
you didn't watch.
But I was looking I was looking at the playlist, the
Yeah.
choice of song, and I was like, okay,
I filmed
songs.
it all, so you'll be able to see it soon. I actually saw the first edit, which looks amazing.
Okay.
I did like a whole, do we still call them DVDs? But like, I did like a whole
I
video
don't know,
production.
YouTube video.
Of it. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Something, yeah.
I shot the whole concert.
Yeah, it's a collection. Yeah.
And that was a really cool project. You know, I like, as an artist, it's no lie in my camp, in my own team, that I've wanted to quit Micasa many times because I wanted
Really?
to make my own music.
Okay.
I was a musician and an artist before Micasa started,
Yeah,
and it was
yeah.
not house music.
Yeah.
It was me and guitar, and I love soul music. You
Yeah.
know, that's my vibe. So, like I said to you, I've got albums and albums of my own music that I can't wait to
Is it
share
John
with
Mayer
the world.
music?
John Mayer was a huge influence, but
Okay.
it's Jay something music.
Okay,
Like I would like
okay.
to kind of keep it there, you know.
Yeah.
But indoor was another thing. It was just like lockdown, and we had nothing to do, and I read an article on the front page of a newspaper that said entertainment was the most non-essential during lockdown. That really broke my heart because I remember crying to my wife, like being like, is what I do the most non-essential
Sure.
thing in life?
Sure.
Like, really? But anyway, indoor is done. Indoor was 6 exclusive limited shows, Cape Town, Joburg, Durban, where I got to share. I wrote theatre. It was actually a theatrical piece.
Really?
That music was just kind of what tied it together. But I wrote poetry that tied into every song, and I
Sure.
basically shared the story of what I went through as an
Yeah.
artist during lockdown.
Yeah.
And indoor, you know, being inside and.
Beautiful concept.
But yeah, we've recorded. Obviously, we're going to put out the project onto the platforms, and I'm going to see what we do with the video of it, and
Yeah.
probably put it up onto a platform as well. But it was something that I needed to do.
Yeah,
It was
an
something
expression.
that I needed to kind of show people. I show myself that I can do this. I can be
Yeah.
on stage alone, and I
Yeah.
can do my soul vibe, and I can do that, and I can connect with people.
And did that make you now feel like, oh, actually, I love being part of Micasa?
Yeah, I mean, like, Micasa, like I said, is in such a good space only because of the music.
Sure.
You know, like, music always brings us back
Yeah,
together, brings us
yeah.
closer than ever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm super motivated at the moment I'm super involved in the business as I used to be.
Yeah.
I went through my phase where I was like, I don't care about this anymore.
Do you?
Just tell me where I need to be and I'll go and perform.
Sure.
And as you do in relationships, you know, you go through these waves. But now I'm really into it. But yes, it also gave me a big satisfaction that I think I needed to kind of get off my shoulders.
Yeah.
Like I really wanted to just sing. Because at that concert, I performed 2 of my own original songs for the first time ever.
How nerve-wracking was that?
It was so freeing.
Okay.
It was
Love
so
that.
freeing because I was like, I'm going to show you who I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you a little bit of my story.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful moment, something that I'll treasure forever.
There's a moment in your life where you used to work at Soul Candy, right?
Yeah.
And you mentioned
first job.
you mentioned that you used to clean up for the artists.
Studios, yeah.
What job were you doing there?
I was like running the studios in a way.
Running the studios.
In a way. I want to say that because it sounds impressive, but I was just like kind of given, okay, now you're going to try and make the studios work. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll take that on, you know. And what I, you know, it sounds glamorous, but yes, I was running the studio, but I was also setting up the monitors and making sure that they have the waters that they want and making sure the studio's clean and booking it for them and then having to deal with all their egos. And I remember like once, I won't name the name of the artist, but like I remember hearing an artist, a singer, and I went to him and I was like, dude, can you teach me how to do this? Like, can you know, teach me something?
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he walked away. He didn't say anything. And then the manager came to me and be like, can you just leave my artist alone? And I felt so bad in that moment. And it broke my heart. But anyway, it also motivated me. But yeah, there was a time in my life where it was a really frustrating time because I wanted to be that.
Did you go in there with the intention of, at least if I'm in the space, or it was just I need a job?
I come from a small town. Like, I you know, it's hard to believe in. Like, I was there, but I never believed that this could any of this could be possible.
So you didn't. No. I don't want to reduce it to all this, but you didn't see what's happening with your life.
No, man. I didn't.
What did you dream for?
Even till now, I still have my insecurities where I'm like, am I good enough? Like, am I good at this? You know, am I worthy of, like, I still get super nervous every time I have to do anything that people have to watch or listen to. Like I told you, I'm nervous to be here because it's like, it's a vulnerable place. You share things, you go deeper into things. So even at that time, like if I said to you, oh, I knew this, nah, it's a lie.
So what did you dream for? Like, I want to get into
at that time, maybe it was a little bit harder to believe in the dreams. There's another female poet is still called a poet, or whatever. Poet. I wanted to say poetress, but I was like,
she's the poet.
Yeah, there was a poet that I really like. Her name is Rupi Kaur.
Yeah.
Do you follow her?
No.
You should follow her.
I'm not into poetry.
Oh man, no, but she's a writer.
I think my palate will still mature.
Oh, especially for women.
Okay.
Like I encourage all women to go and research Rupi Kaur.
I experienced opera singing for the first time like 3 weeks ago, and I was like, oh my god! So my palate is expanding. I'm meeting new people. Yeah.
But Rupi Kaur is an amazing poet, and she wrote in one of her poems. She said, "Your dreams should be your plans."
Your dreams should be your plans.
And often our dreams are our fantasies. They're not our plans.
Oof.
Right? And the other day I was lying in bed and my wife said to me, hey, she loves these games and I hate them. What if we had all the money in the world? What would you do? You know, like, well, what if we won the lotto? And I'm like, oh my God, here we go again. But in that moment, something revolutionary happened for me where I said to her, I'd like pay this off. I would take us on a really cool holiday. And I realized that money was the only limitation, but I didn't want like a house in Venice. I didn't want like a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, even if I had all the money, the first thing that I thought of was these little things that like really matter. And I flipped the question around to her and I said, let's actually forget about the lotto and all the money in the world. What do you want to do?
Sure.
And we started to write a list in bed and on the notes app. Yeah, I want to do this. I want to put a tombstone on my dad's grave. I want to do that. And I'm like, okay, great. Let's put a timeline to this because money is the only limitation.
Yeah.
And if money is the only limitation, let's get the money. Let's go and hustle for the money.
Just like that. If money is the only limitation, let's get the money.
Exactly. There's no reason why you should be like trying to what do you want?
Sure.
You say to me, what is my dream? What is my dream?
Yeah.
My dreams now are my plans.
Sure.
I'm living my dream.
Yeah.
And every day that I get to think a little bit more, new dreams pop up.
Yeah.
And then
They become
I chase
plans.
them
Yeah.
as plans, you know,
Yeah.
and that for me is really important.
You think money follows the vision?
Yes,
I live
yes.
by that.
And that's why I say to you, money is like the byproduct. It's important, but I'd rather focus on doing the things that I
always
love
think the
and-
money comes.
Yeah, and it
And-
goes.
And it goes, and then you make more money.
Yeah, yo,
You
it
make
goes.
more money. Like, I think once you tap into that abundance mindset, you realize that money is just that. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. I hope it was impactful and that you enjoyed it. To check out the full episode, all you have to do is become a Wisdom and Wellness member by clicking the join button. If not, you're more than welcome to catch the full audio version on any of your podcast platforms. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being a Wisdom and Wellness member. Run out of your favorites from Dis-Chem? Shop all your Dis-Chem essentials on Dis-Chem Delivered for delivery in just 60 minutes. Dis-Chem Delivered, from us to you on demand.